with a talk about what makes a game truly hypersocial, we've got Fintan Gillespie from Snap. Now, Fintan, do we have you here? I think just joining the Zoom. Just to remind everyone that that was great. We had loads of really good questions there for our first talk of the day. If you have questions for Fintan Gillespie of Snap, do drop them into the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen there. Now then, hi, Fintan, how you doing?
Hey, how's things? How you doing, Dave?
Good. All right, thank you. Thank you for joining us this morning. Where are you zooming to us from today?
I'm from London today, which is...
Oh, you are? Okay, I'm just not far from where I am.
Not far, I'll give you a little wave.
Yeah, out the window. We've actually got people joining the conference from all around the world, you see. I'd like to ask, we had something like 75 countries or something joining us, which is incredible.
Wow,
so
it's incredible.
So really appreciate that. So I'm going to leap out of the window, hand over to you, and then at the end, I'll come back in 20 minutes or so and help curate any questions that have popped into the box there. So in the meantime, yeah, over to you. Thanks.
Great. Well, let me just get my screen shared. So give me one moment, guys. Well, hi, everyone, and thank you so much for joining our session today. My name is Fintan Gillespie, and I lead our international gaming business here at Snap. My team is dedicated to working with gaming developers and marketers around the world to help them build and grow their games on and off Snapchat. And I'm excited to talk to you today about why gaming on Snapchat is so unique. It's different, it's curated, and we're seeing a new genre of games emerge, a generation of hyper-social gaming. In today's agenda, I'm going to walk you all through the Snapchat experience and how our users use and love our platform. We're going to delve in a little bit into hyper-social, this new gaming genre, which is super social and unique to Snapchat. We're going to talk about personalizing your game with our digital avatar, Bitmoji. And finally, we'll round it off with SnapKit, your toolkit for organic growth on the platform. So before we go further, let's recap on the full Snapchat experience today. Simply put, Snapchat is the fastest way to express yourself and communicate. Why send a text when a snap is worth 1,000 words? People on Snap are chatting throughout the day, whether it's on their way to work, at the gym, or at home with their family. And our camera is so much more than a tool to take a picture. It's a starting point for things like location creative tools, face and surface tracking, audio listening and scanning with Shazam, and many, many more. In fact, over 60% of our Snapchat community creates snaps with our camera every single day. And our community spends more than half an hour on Snapchat every day and opens the Snapchat camera more than 30 times a day to chat with their closest friends. In fact, over 5 billion snaps are shared every day, which makes Snap the most widely used camera in the world today. I'm going to take you on a very quick whistle-stop tour of the Snapchat experience today. Snapchat opens to the camera, and you can use all of the features in the Snapchat camera across augmented reality, filters, editing tools, and take what you do in the camera and chat with your friends. Or you can post to the map to share a real-time view of what's happening around the world. Or you can add it to your stories to keep your friends up to date and chat one-to-one or in groups with your friends. Or sit back and watch and learn on Discover. Mobile video consumption is way up amongst young people, and we see a massive increase in Discover video consumption, growing 80% year over year. We've also welcomed lots of professional content distributors to our Discover platform, including many from the gaming genre. And finally, you can post a spotlight to participate in the bigger world of creative talent. This is our newest addition to Snapchat, and it features the most creative and engaging content from our community, while upholding our strict safety guidelines. You may have seen recent investments in rewarding the most popular piece of content every day in Spotlight as we grow our audience there. In terms of our updated global audience, we announced earlier this year in our Q1 earnings that Snap now reaches 280 million daily active users around the world. And on a monthly active user basis, that is now over 500 million monthly active users around the world. In focus markets like the US, nearly 1 of every 2 smartphone users now is on Snapchat. And we really have their attention. Snapchat now reaches 90% of 13 to 24-year-olds in the US. And it's not just all about Gen Z and millennials. Over 49% now of our US users are aged 25 plus. Quite simply, if you want to reach your audience where they are every day, you need to be on Snapchat. Snapchat captures an important audience that's hard to reach on other platforms. In fact, they are unduplicated and incremental to your efforts, a unique and unduplicated audience and incremental to other platforms. And our Snapchatters love to game. So there are over 110 million Snapchatters interested in casual mobile games. And on the platform side, we continue to innovate in our camera on Snap. And this is a very recent example from Carnaby Street down the road from us here in London, where we've created a multiplayer gamified AR experiences for our users to play with. Now you have a little bit more about the Snapchat experience and our Snapchat generation. I want to share a little bit with you about why gaming on Snapchat is so unique. It's curated, it's hyper social. Our Snap Games and Snap Kit offerings help you bring social interactivity and personalization to your games, both on and off our platform. Starting with Snap Games are HTML5 mobile games made for playing with your friends. And it's who you're surrounded with that makes the most important moments into memories. And our Snap Games platform is still a very young platform, launched just over 2 years ago. And our vision is to build a games platform that eases the way Snapchatters can play games with their friends. We've built a platform with that in mind, embedding chat and voice into all our HTML5 games that launch. Playing socially is the essence of Snap Games. And one of the unique parts of Snap Games is the chat bar at the bottom of the game, enabling Snapchatters to type and speak with their friends as they play their favorite games. And looking at Aquapark, which you just saw there, that has now been played over 45 million Snapchatters so far. And after the tremendous launch of Aquapark with Voodoo Multiplayer Edition, we announced a multi-game partnership with Voodoo at our Snap Partner Summit earlier this year to bring more of their hit games to life on the platform. And as Snapchatters spend more time at home over the last 18 months, we know they've turned to mobile gaming more than ever to stay entertained and connected with their close friends. And we're seeing this trend in real life. Snap Games has seen highly elevated engagement as well. Time spent, player count, voice and chat features are all experiencing record usage. And you can see really here the full experience, which is chat enabled, super social. And in this experience here, you're playing against all your pals in one of our hit zombie games. And in fact, in just 2 years, more than 200 million Snapchatters have played Snap Games, and 30 million Snapchatters play Snap Games every single month. 65 million unique players all time. When a Snapchatter plays with their friends, they spend twice as long playing versus when they play solo. And in fact, Bitmoji Party alone, one of our hit games, has seen over 20 minutes of average playing time on Snapchat since launch. And it really is so simple. Our games can be found organically through the chat bar. There's no initial downloads required. And across the whole swathe of our app, Snap Games are also deeply integrated within the entire ecosystem across all parts of our application, from new drop-down menu to sharing gameplay badges into our camera to encourage virality. And Snap Games are monetized through ads, and we have a multitude of different ad formats within Snap Games, including rewarded ads, interstitials, and most recently, we've actually launched in-app purchases on Android on the Snap Games side as well to help developers further. So if you want to make your next game more hyper social, please check out games.snapchat.com. Reach out to myself or Pedro Rodriguez, who also works on our international games partnership team, and let's make this happen.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Moving on, I've just got a little bit more. Moving on
go for it.
No problem at all, Dave. Moving on to Bitmoji and personalizing your game with Bitmoji, I want to spend a little bit of time talking about some recent updates here. So with our SDKs across Android and iOS, games become more social, shareable, interactive, and personal. And we're super excited to partner with Unity and join as a verified solutions partner. We work in collaboration with Unity to make it plug and play to integrate Bitmoji's 3D and 2D avatars into any Android, iOS, PC, or console game. It's now easier than ever to personalize your games with Bitmoji and allow Snapchatters to play as themselves and become the heroes throughout the games themselves. Just a quick refresher on Bitmoji for everyone that might be new to it. I'm sure most of you will be familiar. Bitmoji is the world's leading digital avatar, and the Bitmoji Games SDK brings the world's avatar into your game. And now Snapchat is giving you the opportunity to bring Bitmoji into your games to make them more social, personal, and fun by building an experience that is personal to the player. And when we look at the Bitmoji numbers, 200 million people use Bitmoji every single day. And that's 75% of Gen Z in the US have and use a Bitmoji. And our results show that Snapchatters with a Bitmoji avatar spend twice as much time per day on Snapchat. And so through integrating Bitmoji into your game, players can play with their personal 3D character and making the experience more hypersocial. And if we look here, two examples from GiftSmart and Game Jam, Bitmoji now transforms gameplay into a more personal, social, and fun experience. It goes beyond 2D, emotes and player profile UA elements and leaderboards, and also allowing players to bring their 3D personalized Bitmoji to life. So looking at some numbers from Bitmoji integrations, it really works for hyper-casual developers. The developers that have integrated, such as GiftSmart, are seeing 20% higher day one retention and 60% higher ad views per active player. So these are really phenomenal results in a very competitive hyper-casual market. And they're not all alone. We're excited to share that more and more developers are starting to take notice, from heritage brands such as Mattel and Nickelodeon to developers like Scopely and Rollic. You'll start to see more Bitmojis in your favorite games across the world. In fact, here's the Bitmoji edition of Water Shooty, which you can download from your app stores today. If you want to add more Bitmojis to your game, go check out bitmoji.com/games. And again, we can talk a little bit in the Q&A or reach out to me and Pedro and we can help you there. Finally, we're going to talk a little bit about SnapKit, your toolkit for organic growth. And it's not just about our on-platform offering. We have a plethora of off-platform tools to help you simply and easily make your title more hyper-social on Snapchat. So this is the whole suite of SnapKit. You have one-to-one visual sharing with CreativeKit, where you can create badges and allow users to share them with their friends, enabled through deep links. You have StoryKit to make your app more social and more fun with stories from Snapchat. You have Login Kit, a way to authenticate in a safe and frictionless way. And you also have monetization with AdKit, which is now rolled out globally. So looking at CreativeKit, here are some of the experiences that we've already created, both with Snap Games and off-platform. So as you can see here, you can create amazing badges featuring your high scores, your gameplay. You can actually integrate those, share them in the Snapchat camera. And then when your friends see them, they can actually swipe up and go and play that game, making it super social. Moving on to Login Kit, that allows players to authenticate and store progress. And it's a really great complement to user acquisition solutions, making onboarding into your game more seamless and cost-effective right after the download. In fact, Highly, who are a dating app that we work with, saw a 20% improvement in registrations and a 44% reduction in cost per active Snapchat user on the user acquisition side when they integrated with Login Kit. Over 180 million Snapchatters engage with the camera and AR every single day, which is up 37% from the previous year. AR is no longer a novelty, and we want all the developers in the world to share the creativity and the utility that the Snapchat camera can build. There are two main features in CreativeKit: stickers and dynamic lenses. Stickers can be applied to Snap's post capture to give friends more context about what they're doing and where they are. And dynamic lenses, our newest feature, provide a way to share variable information like live scores, leveling up in a game, or even local weather through easy to build AR experiences. So the camera really is the future of sharing. And as you can see here, we're seeing tremendous engagement and improvement from integrations so far using the camera. Finally, I wanted to show you some updates on connected lenses. So that's connected lenses. I think it's a super cool new project, actually developed by engineers in Snapchat in London. And you can see we've partnered with Lego there. And I think it's a really cool way to bring collaboration into the camera and into augmented reality. So the future is really bright there. So rounding it all off, we really want developers to bring the best of Snapchat to your game. We've got multiple toolkits and platforms available for developers now, and we'd love you to come chat to us and explore opportunities together. So many thanks for your time, and looking forward to the Q&A.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Fintan. Really, really interesting there. Apologies for interrupting you earlier on, but that's great. We've had a number of questions there from people there. I see we've got a sort of 5 questions which I'll put to you. Really, really great, really informative there, and some stuff I didn't realize about. And I don't know if anyone's asked a question, but what you just showed there about connected lenses, that the AR stuff, that looks amazing, right? I mean, and AR is just
super cool.
Yeah, we're just talking a load about that at the moment, and really, really exciting. You've got that Lego integration there. That's wonderful. Also, did you say right at the start that 5 billion snaps are shared every day? Was that right?
Yeah.
Right? Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's actually the world's most used camera, and more than the native iOS and Android cameras, which is just astonishing, actually.
Wow. That's amazing. So let's get through some of these questions. We've got time. We can probably get them all.
Yeah,
in.
let's do it.
So we've got, I'm going to grab these from the Q&A box. If anyone has any more questions for Fintan, please drop them in there. But let's grab them here. So we've got here, one of our attendees asks, is it fair to say that Snap is strongest in the US? And what would you say are the second and third largest markets?
Yeah, I think, if you think back to our history, we first developed an iOS app. And so, we naturally followed developed markets where iOS was stronger. But about 2 years ago, our engineering team took on a project to rewrite our entire Android application from the ground up. So it now loads like 4x faster. And that's really helped us become more global as a company. So actually, you'd be surprised to hear that beyond the US, India is now our second largest market. Super exciting market for us, and led by that Android development. And then we're also really strong across all of Northern Europe. So outside of India, the big markets to call out will be France, where we reach over 20 million users. In the UK, reach over 17 million users. And then the Middle East and Saudi Arabia, which I think is super interesting. And that's where we're reaching, I think, 17 million users in Saudi. And I think Saudi's super exciting. And we work with some amazing developers like Tomato, who help with culturalization of games into that market. I think it's a really exciting opportunity for developers.
Yeah, it's interesting. We do some work in the Middle East and North Africa region as well. We had a Pocket Gamer Connects Jordan. We've got some strong ties there. You're right. It's one of the fastest growing regions, isn't it? So really interesting. Let's track another question here. We've got, how can indie developers start working with Snap? Do you have any programs to support indie developers who are interested in the platform?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're a very small team, right? So you're either talking to me or Pedro on the partnership side, and then we're actually building out like technical and solutions engineering support to help you onboard your Snap game. And we're, we have our Play Canvas engine that we have within Snap as well. That makes it super easy for developers to onboard. And then, as I mentioned, the partnership with Unity really makes the experience in creating an avatar ecosystem much more plug and play and easier to onboard. So I think that really helps us get going now. We've put a lot of effort into making the platform a bit more democratized and giving tools to developers to build. So I feel like the evolution is strong, and Pedro and the team would be more than happy to chat to any indie developers. In fact, we work with many already.
That's great. And someone's asked, what game genres are the most popular in Snap? So yeah, do you have a sense that any particular genres do well there rather than over others?
Oh gosh, well, I think one of our big hit games was Aquapark. I think many of our games, like if you look at Aquapark, that was actually redeveloped by Voodoo for Snap to make it social, so you could actually play against friends and also other people on Snapchat anonymously. So makes it super social, and it's a kind of a relaunch of an existing Rockstar hit, but new probably to many of our Snapchat users, and they absolutely love it. So I love the idea of collaboration and social games. I talked a lot about HyperSocial. I think they're the sort of casual genres that really are doing really well on the platform. But our goal is to basically build a game for every genre on the platform, because we know there's lots of different Snapchat users out there who like all sorts of different games. And so it's not just about social games now. You can play solo games and leaderboard based games. So we're kind of thinking about all different angles to make the game experience more interesting. And then I'd say with tokens on Android and in-app payments, we can start to go into more core focused gameplay on the Android side as well, which is super exciting.
Here's a question here, and I obviously you have a vested interest, but someone's asked, would you advise new developers to focus exclusively on Snap for their games, or is a developer advised to develop for multiple platforms, of which one is Snap?
I think like what we're trying to talk to developers about, we've yet to see a developer that launches on the App Store and on Snap games at the same time using Bitmoji. And so we would love to partner with a gaming studio to do that, because we think it's super exciting. We're seeing this era of platform diversification, particularly in hyper-casual gaming. And I think, the smart hyper-casual companies are the ones that are thinking about all these different platforms that they can actually bring their games to and adapt to. So I'd say that's what we would be excited about. But look, we're willing to partner with Snap on platform games, or work with developers on their own App Store games to make them more social with Bitmoji.
That's great. In fact, actually on that, someone's asked here, do developers need any particular special skill to be able to develop games for Snap and to use Bitmoji? Is there anything additional skill that they need to have beyond what they already have for developing games?
I think major proficiency in H5, and if you've built games for H5, again, our teams can work with you to work on the subtle differences. But they're H5 games, and then our avatar ecosystem takes a bit of getting used to, but that's relatively straightforward as well, and we can guide your teams through that.
Brilliant, thank you. And I tell you what, Fintan, I think we've got maybe just take one more question here. We've got
sure.
So did the pandemic make the need for hyper-casual games even stronger? Do you foresee any shift in the market now that things are opening up?
We saw a big growth, as I mentioned in my presentation, of engagement in the lockdown. And I don't think this is unique to Snapchat. I think across the entire global games ecosystem, look back to Q2 of last year, there was simply an explosion when the world was knee-jerked into lockdown and people didn't know what to do and had a lot more time on their hands. So I think naturally games have just had the most incredible year in the lockdown, and we certainly benefited from that on the Snap Games side as well. So we've seen increases across engagement and usage of Snap Games throughout the lockdown.
Perfect. Well, look, we're at 10 o'clock, so I'm gonna wrap it up there, folks. If you want to get in touch with Snap, with Fintan and his team, then I guess we can. They'll find you. You put some contact details on the screen, but also they'll find you in Meet to Match or Discord or whatever. I'm going to give you a round of applause that you'll have to imagine coming from all of us. Thank you very much for joining us today. Really informative presentation. Thank you very much.
Many thanks, Dave. All the best. All right. Wishing you the best for the rest of the week.
Thank you.
Bye.